Hey everyone! Today I'm diving into a question I get asked all the time. What's the real difference between the CPI and the PCE? And why does it even matter for you and your wallet? Let's kick things off with the basics. Both CPI and PCE are ways to measure inflation in the US. Basically, how much prices are rising for the stuff we all buy. Inflation gets a lot of headlines, and you see it every time you shop for groceries or fill up your tank. But here's where it gets tricky. CPI and PCE aren't the same thing. First up, the CPI, or Consumer Price Index. This is the measure you probably hear about most often in the news. It tracks the prices that urban consumers pay out of pocket for goods and services, things like eggs, gas, rent, and even toilet paper. Plus, it's the number that helps decide Social Security's annual cost of living adjustments. So if you've got a grandparent checking their benefits, they care a lot about the CPI. On the flip side, there's the PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. This one's the Federal Reserve's favorite. The Fed uses it to set interest rates and guide economic policy. The PCE has a broader view. It includes spending from rural households and nonprofits, stuff the CPI doesn't fully capture. So, while CPI might be a narrow snapshot, PCE is like a wide-angle lens. Now, let's talk about weighting. Both indexes have a basket of goods, but they don't weigh everything the same way. For example, if Americans start eating more chicken and less beef, the PCE will notice and adjust faster, while the CPI moves a bit slower. That's because PCE updates its weights more often. It adapts to our changing habits. And here's a fun fact. The math behind each index is different too. I won't bore you with formulas, but just know that these differences mean the CPI and PCE numbers don't always match up. Sometimes inflation looks higher in one than the other. So, why should you care? Well, when you hear news about inflation, remember that it might be talking about either the CPI or the PCE. Your paycheck, your savings, and even your rent can all be affected depending on which measure is being used. Bottom line, CPI tells us what city folks are paying at the store, and that's what grabs headlines. PCE is the Fed's tool of choice, covering a broader slice of American spending. Both matter, but now you know exactly how and why. Thanks for hanging out with me for these quick inflation insights. If you learned something new, hit that like button and subscribe for more easy-to-understand finance tips.